Good evening, everybody. This is Vonda Evans, and I want to talk briefly about necessary storms. Recently, I have been fasting with my church, and things seem to be going really well. And all of a sudden, all hell broke out. And what do you mean by that? Sunday, my heat went off. Okay, I called somebody and the heat came back on temporarily. It went back off again. It was so cold in my home. It was 42 degrees. 42 degrees. My bones were cold. And, I look on there this morning and somebody trying to claim ownership of my Bonda's Law on Google. It just seemed like all hell was breaking loose. And yesterday I had an opportunity to talk to a very good friend, a lawyer that affiliates with my firm. And she said, well, it's going to be the coldest night of the winter last night. And I just said, wow. And I wanted to give up, obviously, go to the hotel. Like, why is this all happening to me? And my daughter said, Mama, I'm staying here. And I said, well, you know what? I'm going to stay here too. And you know what the Lord showed me? He said this morning, you survived the coldest day of winter with no heat. It was 42 degrees, but you survived. Sometimes we have to go through storms to prepare us for the next blessing. Okay. So today, when I had to take the trash out, it was 35 degrees. I just put a coat on like, hey, because that storm of being in a house at 42 degrees prepared me for the day. And sometimes, I'm like, well, God, why are you doing this? He said to knock you out your comfort zone. You too comfortable. You too comfortable. Okay. So when this heat go off, I'm going to see what you do. And my mind was just going everywhere. I was just feeling so depressed. I mean, I just kept the heat on and I was just laying hands on it. But what he wanted me to do was to endure this test. It was a test. That was it. Although it was bone chilling test, I got through it. And you know what I said today? I said, I needed that. He said, yeah, you did. Sometimes we begin to believe, well, God don't love me if he tests me. Quite the contrary. Because had I not been able to survive them last 3 nights, I wouldn't be able to come and tell you that whatever you facing, you going to survive too. Your situation is temporary, but you got to get through it. It wasn't nothing I could do. I called the repairman. I laid hands on the thermostat. I did everything humanly possible. But what the Lord said, listen, you got to get through this, sis. And it is a season that you will emerge through. It didn't feel like it. I honestly thought that it was going to be like this until the summertime. I didn't know what to expect. But what I did know is that when I felt that all hell was breaking against me, look, somebody trying to take over my Google page for Vonda's Law, looking up and it was so cold, I just started to believe I wanted to give up. Like, why are you doing this to me? What if I'm doing? I'm trying to fast. I'm trying to do right. I'm praying. Why are you doing this to me? To make you stronger? Because let me explain something to you. And I told somebody today, an unprepared blessing is a curse. Sometimes we got to have them valley experiences so that when God is able to give us this unseen blessing that's on our way, we can prepare for that. Why? Because we survived 42-degree weather in our house, because you surviving getting a bad report from the doctor, because you survive and not having a job, because you survive and losing a loved one, because you survive because you going through a bad relationship, because you survive. They're only temporary. And what it does, it builds our faith. It let us know if I went through that, I can go through something else. And I needed that. Because sometimes when you just coasting and things is good, and something, you hit a bump in the road, you thinking the world gonna come to end. But sometimes God gotta take you in that valley. He gotta lead you down there a little bit. It don't mean he forgotten about you. He trying to make you stronger because he don't want you to be weak where you are. One thing I say this, and I'm gonna say this for them people listening. People who go through the most are strong. They might not have all of the material blessings, but you can go to them for a word of wisdom. You can go to them and say, well, damn, she endured all of that. I know I can do that. They're strong and God's hand is on them. So don't think that you curse because you ain't got all this material things. And then you see all these rich people, when they get stuff, what happened to them? They get a bump in the road. They, go commit suicide. Or they can't handle fame. They can't handle riches. They throw their life away, do all this stuff because they have not had enough valley experiences to say, I've overcome. So sis, bro, I want you to know that whatever you're going through, God is going to get you through it. He is going to deliver you because now you got a testimony. I got one. I survived the coldest night in Michigan and I made it through. And you're going to make it through too. God bless you. Y'all go to sleep. Some of y'all worrying about something. That was a word so that y'all can go to bed and go to sleep and rest on the promise. God is not going to forsake you. Ain't left you before. Ain't going to leave you now. You're going to be down there a little bit like I would, just cold as I could be. But I got through it, and so are you. Be encouraged. Go to sleep. God bless you, and I love you.